Snow swallowed her footprints almost as fast as she made them. Ayla didn't look back. Not at the torches. Not at the temple bells ringing in fury. Not at the crown she'd refused, or the mate bond she'd fled. She only ran, but the bond she denied pulsed behind her. A heartbeat that wasn't hers, a scent threading through the cold air, an aura that shook the storm itself. And when a shadow darkened the falling snow, when a massive wolf landed in front of her, with a roar that cracked the silent forest in two, her lungs froze, golden eyes, white breath, power that bent the storm to his will. The Alpha King had found her. His growl rumbled through the cold. "You can flee the ritual," he snarled, stepping closer, breath hot on her frozen skin. "But you cannot flee the bond." She stiffened, pulse shattering. Because she already knew the truth. She wasn't running from his claim. She was running from the reason she could never return it. Before we continue, drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next chapter of this world. The bonding ritual of the Frostborn Kingdom was supposed to be beautiful, sacred, peaceful. A moment where the moon unveiled the Alpha King's true mate. The Luna who would share his throne, his wolf, and his fate. But for Alara, it was a death sentence wrapped in silver lace. She stood before the moon altar, wearing the ceremonial cloak, surrounded by nobles whose whispers tasted of cold judgment and colder ambition. Snow drifted over the white marble as elders chanted moon-born blessings. King Kale stood at the center of the ritual circle, his massive frame draped in fur and frost-forged armor, eyes burning gold beneath the winter sky. Every woman in the kingdom prayed to be chosen. Alara prayed not to be, because she carried a secret so dangerous it could destroy him. Her wolf was broken, not weak, not suppressed, broken, silent since childhood, dormant even under full moons. An omega flaw so severe, no alpha, let alone a king, should ever be tied to her. But the moon didn't care. When Alara stepped into the circle, Kael inhaled sharply, chest rising, as if struck by lightning. The air crackled, snow lifted in slow spirals. Every wolf felt it, a bond igniting, not faint, not mistaken, undeniable. Elder Thalos spoke the words that sealed her fate. The moon has named Alara as the fated Luna of the Frostborn King. The crowd gasped. Kael's wolf surged, growling in triumphant recognition. Alara felt horror sink through her bones. "It's wrong," she whispered. "This can't be happening." But Kael stepped forward, hand outstretched, eyes fierce with instinct and certainty. "Alara," he breathed, "you are mine." Her throat tightened. "No, no, I can't be. I will destroy you." He didn't know the truth. No one did. If they bonded, if the ritual was completed, his wolf would tether itself to hers, and he would become vulnerable to the same curse that killed her entire bloodline. Alara pulled away. Kael's eyes narrowed. "Alara, what are you doing?" She backdoored toward the temple steps. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Then she ran. Gasps, shouts, warriors moved. Kael roared, a sound that shook the pillars and cracked the marble. "Alara!" But she didn't stop. She fled through the temple gates, into the freezing storm, into the wild frostlands where wolves did not survive without guidance or strength. The wind howled, the moon raged, and Alara kept running, breath tearing through her lungs, cloak whipping behind her, snow burning her skin. She didn't stop until her legs buckled, and she collapsed in the drifts, sobbing into the cold. "I'm sorry," she whispered to the night. "I'm sorry, Kael. You were never meant to be mine." But the bond did not care for apologies. It pulsed, roared, hunted, and somewhere behind her, far closer than she realized, a wolf, with the power of a kingdom in his blood, was tracking her through the snow. Her story didn't end at the ritual. It began in the storm. Alara didn't know how long she'd been lying there. Face pressed into the cold, lungs burning, cloak heavy with frost. All she knew was the storm had quieted, too quiet. A deep, rhythmic thrum pulsed beneath the snow, a vibration she felt through her palms, her ribs, her bones, a heartbeat, not hers, his. Alara's breath hitched. No, no, please, not here. She scrambled to her feet, swaying. The forest around her was pale and motionless, trees frosted like bones. Every sound seemed swallowed by the cold. Then, a low growl rolled across the clearing. Snow fell from the branches above her. Alara spun. A massive shadow moved between the trees, fluid, colossal, silent. Then another rumble vibrated through the air, deeper this time, predatory, claiming. Her pulse skittered. He had found her. She backed away, boots slipping in the drifts. Kale, please, don't. But the wolf that emerged into the clearing was not the man she knew. He was bigger, much bigger, than any alpha wolf she'd ever seen. His fur was obsidian black, streaked with frost, glowing faintly with silver sigils etched by ancient royalty. His eyes burned gold, wild with the force of a bond denied. The air thickened with dominance so powerful she could barely breathe. Alara, his voice tore through the air. Not spoken, not shifted, but heard inside her mind. The bond. His wolf was speaking through it. She stumbled backward. Kael, stop, don't come closer. His wolf stepped forward, snow crunching beneath massive paws. You ran. His mental voice rumbled, carrying hurt, fury, and something deeper. You fled your ritual, your throne, your mate. Her throat closed. I had to. Why? Because binding to me will kill you, she blurted. The wind stilled. Kael's wolf froze. Alara's chest tightened. She'd said too much. His eyes narrowed, burning hotter. Explain, now. She swallowed hard. My wolf is broken, she whispered. It's been dormant since I was a child. My bloodline carries a curse, the kind that infects alpha bonds. Kael's aura flared, cracking ice beneath his paws. Who told you this? My mother, she whispered. Right before she died of it, before it destroyed her mate. The memory made her voice tremble. I can't let it destroy you. The wolf's growl deepened, not angry at her, but at the world. You should have told me. You would have still claimed me, she whispered. You would have risked your crown, your life, everything. Yes. The certainty in his voice stabbed through her. Kael, I'm trying to protect you. The wolf stepped closer, slow, controlled, terrifying. Your place is beside me. Not in the snow, not alone. Alara shook her head. I don't have a wolf strong enough to bind to yours. The moon made a mistake. That bond will only destroy you. He roared, a sound that shattered branches and shook the storm itself. Snow exploded around them. His wolf shifted mid-stride, fur dissolving into shadow and frost until Kael, the man, the king, stood before her in nothing but winter light and raw fury. Frost clung to his hair, steam lifted from his skin, power radiated off him like he was made of the storm. Alara, his voice was thunder. The moon does not make mistakes. She stepped back. He stepped forward. There is no curse in this world stronger than a king's bond, he growled. and there is no wolf broken enough that I would ever abandon her. Her heart throbbed painfully. Kael, I can't risk your life. You running risks it more. He closed the distance between them until she felt his heat chase back the cold around her. My wolf nearly tore the palace apart when the bond snapped. I shifted in the middle of the ritual. I hunted you because every part of me was dying without you. Her breath trembled. I didn't want to hurt you. You didn't. His eyes softened just slightly. But you nearly killed me by leaving. She flinched. Kael lifted his hand, slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. His fingers brushed her cheek, warmth burning her frozen skin. I won't let you walk into the wild and freeze alone, he whispered. I won't let you bear fear that belongs to me to solve. Her lashes fluttered with tears. It's not your burden, Kael. It is, he said. Because you are. His voice softened. Mine. The bond pulsed between them, flaring hot beneath her ribs. Elara shook her head, tears spilling. Kael, you don't understand. If we complete the ritual, your wolf binds to mine, and your life force tethering to a broken one might. He cut her off with a low, fierce whisper, then let it break me. Her breath fractured. Kael cupped her jaw, forcing her to meet his eyes. I would rather die bonded to you than live a century tied to someone the moon did not choose. I'm trying to save you, she whispered. I'm trying to save us both. A harsh wind swept through the clearing, swirling snow between them. Kael exhaled slowly, aura softening, not with weakness, but with something far more dangerous. Vulnerability. Elara, he murmured, come back with me. Let me protect you. Let me understand the curse you fear. We can break it together. A sound split the air. A howling chorus. Elara's blood ran cold. Kael's eyes snapped upward, sharp, lethal. Hunters, he growled. Elara tensed. They followed me? No. Kael's aura surged like a rising storm. They followed me. Ice cracked beneath his boots as he stepped in front of her. Stay behind me, he ordered. The forest darkened as shadowy forms approached between the trees. The Alpha King's voice turned cold as winter. They think they can take my mate. He bared his teeth. Let them try. The hunters stepped out of the tree line, one by one, their eyes gleaming the sickly blue of wolves stripped of honor. Their armor was patchwork, stolen from fallen packs. Their claws hummed with silver dust, deadly, illegal, designed to cripple an alpha permanently. Elara felt her pulse climb her throat. Not fear for herself, fear for him. Kael stepped forward, dominance rolling off him in cold waves that bent the wind. Turn back, he commanded. His voice wasn't loud. It didn't have to be. True alpha authority moved like a living thing, crushing, ancient, commanding the bones of the world itself. Even the trees seemed to bow away from him. But the hunters didn't retreat. Their leader, a scarred wolf with frostbitten ears, smirked. Your Majesty, he drawled, bowing mockingly. The moon blesses this evening. We didn't expect you to be wandering alone. Kael's jaw flexed. You are trespassing on frostborn land. We're not here for the land, the leader's eyes flicked to Elara. We're here for the girl who fled your ritual. Elara stiffened. Kael's aura exploded outward. Like a thunderclap, several hunters staggered. She is under my protection, he growled. A low ripple of laughter spread among them. The leader tilted his head. Interesting, because rumor says she ran from you. Elara's cheeks flushed with shame. Kael stepped closer to her, instinctively. She is mine, he said softly, dangerously. You will not touch her. The leader smiled without warmth. We don't answer to kings. We answer to contracts. He lifted a parchment marked with crimson wax. Someone paid a high price for her return, alive or dead. The forest chilled. Kael didn't move, didn't breathe. But something ancient and lethal awakened behind his gold eyes. "Who sent you?" he asked. The leader tapped his chin. Perhaps the same person who didn't want your ritual completed. Or maybe someone who fears what her bond might awaken. Ilara's heart dropped. My curse. Someone knew. Someone feared it. Kael's voice was ice. "If you don't turn back, you will die tonight." The leader chuckled. "We're 10 against 2. Kael's wolf pressed at the edges of his skin, claws itching to break free. "Wrong," he murmured. He shifted. The change tore through him like ignited lightning. Bones cracking, fur erupting, aura detonating outward, with a roar that split the storm clouds overhead. And when the shift completed, Ilara stood face to face with the legendary beast whispered about in winter folklore. The frostborn king wolf. 3 times the size of ordinary wolves, eyes glowing like frozen suns. Fur black at the roots, silver at the tips, charged with moon sigils that pulsed with power. The hunters faltered. Even the leader stepped back. Ilara couldn't breathe. Kael's wolf lowered his head and growled, a sound so deep the snow shook. "Stay behind me." Kael's voice echoed inside her mind. Ilara nodded, unable to speak. The hunters lunged. Kael met them like a storm unleashed. 2 were slammed into the snow before they reached him. 1 flew into a tree. Another's weapon shattered under the force of Kael's jaws. Snow churned into white clouds as bodies collided. Roars echoed, steel clashed against fur. But the hunters weren't weak. They were trained, desperate, paid in blood money. And Kael was fighting alone. Ilara watched him rip through the first wave, but the second wave circled behind him. Her breath caught. "Kael, behind!" Too late. 3 hunters leapt at his blind spot, silver claws aimed for his spine. Ilara didn't think. Her wolf, silent for years, screamed inside her. "Move." A burst of energy detonated in her chest, silver light erupting through her palms. Snow around her lifted in a spiraling column as her dormant wolf surged awake, raw, untrained, but powerful. She threw her hands forward. A wave of magic blasted the hunters off their feet, sending them crashing backward into the snow. Kael twisted mid-fight, eyes widening as he sensed her power. Ilara stared at her glowing hands in shock. What did I just... "Ilara," Kael's mental voice crackled with panic. "Your wolf. She woke up. I don't know what I'm doing." "Stay close, let me anchor you." But the hunters regrouped fast. The leader snarled, lunging toward Ilara with a silver dagger raised. "Target the girl. The king won't risk killing us if..." He didn't finish. Kael slammed into him with such force the ground cratered beneath them. Teeth met flesh. Snow burst upward. The leader screamed before Kael's jaws silenced him, permanently. Ilara swallowed a gasp. The remaining hunters froze. "Retreat!" one shouted. They fled, limping, bleeding, disappearing, into the frozen trees. Kael stood in the clearing, chest heaving, fur dripping crimson, his golden eyes locked onto Ilara. Slowly, painfully, he shifted back into human form. He staggered. Ilara darted to him. "Kael!" He caught himself on her shoulders, breath ragged, blood trickling down his side. "Ilara," he whispered. "Are you hurt?" "No, but you... Kael, your side..." He looked down at the slash marks and shrugged weakly. "Minor." "You call that minor?" She pressed her glowing hands to the wound. Hold still. Let me try. He inhaled sharply as her magic seeped into his skin. Elara. His voice trembled. Your wolf is waking, and I can feel her. She froze. Is that bad? He cupped her face, thumb brushing her cheek. It's everything I've ever wanted. Her heart stuttered. But we still don't know what my wolf carries, she whispered. What if the curse... He leaned his forehead against hers, breath warm. Then we break it together. Her eyes burned with unshed tears. You would risk your life for me? He smiled, soft, fierce, devastating. I already did. The storm broke above them, moonlight piercing through the clouds, bathing them both in silver light. Kaya lifted her hand to his lips. Come back with me, he whispered. Let me protect you. Let me uncover the truth of what you fear. Alara's lips parted, and for the first time since she fled the ritual, she didn't want to run. Returning to the Frostborn Palace felt like stepping into another world, one carved from moonlight, ancient stone, and the weight of a kingdom Alara had run from. Snow cascaded off the towering battlements. Wolves patrolled the walls, eyes sharp, posture rigid. Every head turned when Kale entered, with Alara beside him, bleeding, half frozen, still glowing faintly from her sudden awakening. Whispers erupted instantly. The runaway girl. She fled the ritual. The king went after her? What happened to him? He's injured. But Kael's aura surged with enough dominance to silence all of them. The pack parted before him, like shadows retreating from fire. Inside the great hall, healers rushed forward. Your Majesty, your wounds. Later, Kael brushed them off. His gaze never left Alara. She needs to be checked first. Alara flushed. Kael, I'm fine. You're trembling. His voice softened. I know what a newly awakened wolf feels like. Her stomach tightened. He was right. Ever since the clearing, something restless paced inside her. Soft paws on stone, breath hot against her ribs, a presence that felt familiar and foreign all at once. The healers ushered her into a chamber draped in frost-blue silks. Runes glowed along the walls for warmth and protection. A female healer gently inspected her. Your aura is unusual, she murmured. Strong, but fractured. As if your wolf has been caged for years. Alara looked away. She was. The healer's brows dipped. By choice? By fear? Kael entered before the healer could respond, shirt half-buttoned, hair damp from melted snow. The sight made Alara's heart jump painfully. Everyone out, he commanded. The healers bowed and left them alone. The door shut. Kael stepped closer. Talk to me, Alara. She swallowed hard. What do you want to know? Why you ran? His voice held no anger, only hurt. Why you looked at me that night, as if I were the executioner, not the mate the moon chose for you. Alara sucked in a trembling breath. Because the moon didn't just choose me, she whispered. It cursed me. Kael's eyes darkened. Show me. Alara hesitated. Then she took his hand and guided it to her side, beneath her ribs. A soft pulse beat under his touch, too warm, too bright, like embers buried in flesh. Kael froze. Alara, that's not a heartbeat. It's the seal, she whispered. A spell mark. A spell mark? His voice dropped. Who placed this on you? My mother. The words stuck like ice, on her dying breath. Kael went still. Why would she curse her own daughter? Alara shook her head. Not curse, protect. The spell is ancient. It suppresses a wolf born with too much power. She said mine would draw danger, that I would not survive childhood if they sensed me. Kael's jaw clenched. They? Who? Elara's voice broke. The Shadowborn, the magic hunters who killed her. Who kill any wolf born with forbidden gifts. Kael's breath left him in a rush. Elara, his hands gently cupped her face, as if she might shatter. You've been carrying this alone? Her eyes burned. If the ritual awakened my wolf fully, the seal would break, my power would surface, and they would come for me. Silence rippled between them, heavy, sacred. Then Kael pulled her against his chest, wrapping her in warmth. She didn't realize she'd needed her entire life. Listen to me, he whispered into her hair. If the Shadowborn want you, they will have to war with a kingdom. If your power awakens, you will have my protection, my army, my life. Elara trembled. I ran to keep you safe. He pulled back sharply. Don't ever run for my sake again. I am not afraid of your power. Her voice cracked. I am. Kael brushed a tear from her cheek. Then I will help you master it. Before she could speak, a sudden wave of heat surged through her body, blinding, primal, powerful enough to drop her to her knees. Elara? Kael caught her. The seal under her ribs glowed red hot. Something inside her snarled, desperate to break free. She gasped, nails digging into his arms. Kael, something's wrong. She's trying to force the shift. Kael scooped her into his arms and laid her on the rune-marked floor, calling for reinforcements. Healers and the palace shaman burst into the chamber. The shaman's eyes widened. The seal is destabilizing. If it ruptures too fast, she'll lose control of her wolf. Elara screamed as the power surged again, magic rippling under her skin, claws threatening to tear through her fingers. Kael knelt beside her, gripping her shaking hand. Elara, look at me. Her vision blurred, colors fracturing. I can't. Kael, it hurts. I know, his forehead pressed to hers. Breathe with me. In, out. Follow my voice. Her wolf clawed again against the seal, desperate for release. The shaman chanted faster. The bond is anchoring her. Use it, Your Majesty. Kael cupped her face, dominance flaring through the bond like molten gold. Stay with me, he commanded softly, fiercely. Do not fall into the shift. Do not let the magic take you. Elara sobbed, struggling to hold on. Then a sudden crack echoed through her chest. The seal splintered, magic exploded around her, like a dying star, snowflakes suspended mid-air, light bending, air humming with impossible power. The healers shielded their eyes. Kael held her tighter, refusing to let go. Elara! Her body arched, glowing brighter and brighter, and everything went white. Light shattered around her like breaking glass. Then came the silence, heavy, ringing, absolute. Elara floated in it, weightless, suspended in a space between waking and shifting. She felt the cold of winter and the heat of magic. She felt her wolf pushing, clawing, crying to be heard, after years of being smothered under a spell mark meant to keep her alive. Then, a pulse, a voice, a single thread, anchoring her to the world. Elara, come back to me, Kael. His voice didn't echo. It resonated, straight into her chest. She reached for it and crashed back into her body with a gasp. Her eyes snapped open. The floor beneath her was carved with glowing runes. Snowstorm-like magic still crackled around her, swirling in soft gold and silver embers. The healers shielded their eyes, stunned. The shaman knelt in prayer. And Kael, Kael was kneeling over her, arms braced on either side of her head, chest rising hard with ragged breaths, golden eyes bright with fear that only now began to fade. His voice was raw. "Elara, goddess, you scared me." Her pulse fluttered. She lifted a trembling hand to her ribs. The seal was gone. In its place thrummed a power she'd never felt before. Warm, ancient, alive. "My wolf," her voice cracked. "She's awake." Kael smiled, slow, overwhelmed, reverent. "I felt her," Elara blinked, as her senses sharpened as her second. The world smelled different, stronger. The snow in the air tasted like metal and purity. Her pulse synchronized with something larger, deeper. Kael's aura brushed hers, no longer painful, no longer overwhelming, but familiar, warm, magnetic. She stilled. "Kael," a whisper, a warning, a confession. "I feel you." His breath hitched. "And I feel you." His hand brushed her cheek, more clearly than I ever have. She pushed herself upright, legs shaky. His hands steadied her automatically. Her wolf purred. Then a sudden ripple rolled through the chamber. The shaman gasped. "Her aura! Look!" Elara's aura flared outward in a soft, shimmering wave, icy blue threaded with silver. It swept over Kael's chest, brushing against his alpha aura. The air trembled. The bond snapped back into place, not partial, not fragile, not suppressed. Whole, complete. Kael sucked in a sharp breath, eyes wide. "Elara, the bond." "I know." Tears burned her eyes. "It's real, it always was." But she wasn't the only one who sensed it. A deep boom echoed through the palace. The warning drums. Wolves shouted in the corridors. Kael whipped around. "What now?" A guard burst into the chamber, pale and breathless. "Your Majesty, the Shadowborn are here." He shook. "They crossed the frost gate. They're demanding we hand over the girl who awakened forbidden magic." Elara's stomach hollowed. They came for her, just as her mother warned. Kael rose to his full, terrifying height. Not just a king, but a wolf with murder in his veins. "Open the gates," Kael growled. "I'll speak to them myself." The guard hesitated. "My king, they are not here to negotiate." Kael's eyes darkened. "Then they came to die." Elara grabbed his arm. "Kael, no. They're here because of me. And they will leave because of me," he countered, voice low and lethal. But Elara shook her head. "My wolf is awake." Her voice steadied. "I am not helpless anymore. Let me stand beside you." His gaze softened, but the fear in his eyes didn't fade. "I almost lost you today," he whispered. "I won't risk you again." Elara stepped closer, until their chests brushed, until her aura wrapped around his like a warm, protective ribbon. "You didn't lose me," she whispered. "And you won't? Not now. Not ever?" Something broke in him. He cupped her face fiercely, forehead pressed to hers, breath shaking. "You ran from me," he whispered. "A confession, a wound, a plea. And I followed. Because even when you fled destiny, I couldn't let you go." Her heart throbbed. "And today," she murmured, "destiny followed us both." Outside, the Shadowborn's magic crackled against the palace wards. Inside, Kael kissed her, not gently, not cautiously, but with the desperate, consuming certainty of a wolf who finally had his mate back in his hands. The bond flared, searing through both of them, gold meeting silver, alpha meeting awakened Luna. When he pulled away, breath uneven, his voice was barely human. "By the moon, Elara. Whatever comes through that gate, Whatever war they bring, he touched her chest where her seal once was. They will face you and me, together. Elara lifted her chin. Finally. Finally her wolf spoke in her mind. Warm, fierce, unstoppable. Let them come. We were born for this. Kael extended his hand. She took it without hesitation. They walked toward the palace doors as storm winds rattled the stone. The Alpha King and the Luna, born from broken magic, side by side. Power rising, unbreakable. The great doors opened. Snow whipped through the hall. Torches flickered as the shadow-born warriors appeared at the base of the steps. Cloaked in shadow magic, blades shining with stolen moonlight. Kael growled, stepping forward. But Elara stepped with him. And for the first time in her life, she didn't hide. She stood tall, bright, awake, her aura ignited in a swirl of silver and frost, lighting up the entire courtyard, with a glow so powerful, even the Shadowborn staggered. Kael stared at her, awestruck. "Elara," he whispered, "what are you?" Her wolf answered, with a surge of magic that shook the snow loose from the palace towers. "The true Luna of the Frostborn, and your equal." Kael's lips parted, not in fear but in absolute, unshakable devotion. "Then let them face both of us, and together, mate bond pulsing, wolves rising." They stepped into the storm. On that winter night, beneath the roaring storm, the Alpha King and his awakened Luna stood as one, no longer divided by fear or fate, but united by a bond powerful enough to challenge even the shadows.